morning, race fans, and welcome to Yardley, Pennsylvania.
Talladega to do a little racing, about 500 miles. My thoughts of embracing speed around the old Beacon Junior and Center.
Can't wait to get at it. Feel the need for speed with America's Mechanic.
I did not wear my fire suit, so let's be careful.
That was a little rough on the eyes there when I first opened my Facebook.
My pink and black.
Yeah, wow.
Did you see my buddy Dom's?
Yes.
with the tuxedo, the fake tuxedo.
You know, why not? Sure.
That's great. We're having some fun.
Yeah, you are big time.
He's got the Fletcher's garage on the back and in the front.
He is the man.
It looks like a tuxedo.
That's an eye opener. That is an eye. Both of those eye openers. Holy Toledo! I almost dropped my phone.
Yeah, he made mine look normal, so thank you, Dom. I'm all about branding.
That's absolutely.
That's it.
You got to get there first.
But that goes with the pink car and everything else that goes on, and having some fun.
Right. You're doing it with a smile on your face.
Doing the vintage and getting my car all set up. Yeah. And I think, do we have Earl on the line?
Earl is ready to roll. Earl, give it a whirl. Go ahead.
Hey, good morning, gentlemen. Good morning,
Hey.
Fred. Good morning, Jim.
Hey, Earl.
Ready to go.
Long time no talk to.
Yeah, exactly.
We can pick up where we left off last night because there was a lot of things going on. We had a lot of great guests.
It was a good show. Yeah.
Yeah, with Johnny Cornell and Danny Buck and Paulie Hartwig III. A couple of the other people I can't think of right now.
Got crowded in the studio here yesterday.
Yeah, well, they were all calling in. So. But I posted this morning, that we're going to do the Earl Krause's time capsule this Saturday. We're going to shoot the video for the America's Mechanic YouTube and the Wide Open Wednesday YouTubes and Facebook. So I put some pictures up of the cars that I've known, and there's some names that you know too. It was funny. I was going through like my library of old cars. One car we painted was John Scarpatti's the Juniors when he first got into it, and we painted his '74 Camaro, I think it was, and made into a race car, and it said F&R Auto Repair, Auto Body on it, and that was my dad's business. And I posted the picture yesterday, and somewhere it was in my in my subconscious, the phone rang at the shop, and I answered the phone. Hello, F&R. And I haven't been F&R Auto Repair 25 years or 24 years. It's like, wow, where did that come from? But
nostalgia.
Yeah, some of the cars that we've been associated. My dad mostly was with Joe Solak. We talked about that at lunch the other day. Earl, I put a picture of that up. Kerry Schloter, then Bill Gandy. My dad built a car for Bill Gandy that they got from Chip Krieger, and there was one that we didn't really talk about that I was friends with the family of was Jackie Moschera with the S1. And I found a picture. I found a picture of somebody building a model of his car on the back of his old rollback or his ramp truck, and I remember that old ramp truck sitting alongside was my girlfriend at the time, her grandfather's house. It was I dated Jackie's niece, so that old truck that brought back some memories when I found that yesterday.
Oh, absolutely.
So, but let's talk.
There was a young man, Jackie, that would have had a great career had his life not ended in a highway accident. And I remember when he first raced. I was actually there at Old Bridge Speedway on opening day 1964 when he drove it. I believe it was his first race in that number S1. And it was a natural talent. And of course his dad, Augie, his uncle Jim, part of a great racing family. Very very sad. I saw him win races, and again, he would have had a great career in dirt and asphalt racing.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it was 1971, 72 when he passed away.
Right. Yeah, I never met him, but I remember the truck sitting alongside Kathy's grandfather's house. Down in New Egypt, at New Egypt Auto Body, and that was like, oh man, I remember seeing that truck. So. But we're talking Earl's time capsule where we're doing on Saturday, and I'm going to have you and Mark and Nick. We're all going to be having a party at the studio on Saturday. I heard you went over and visited Craig yesterday.
Yes, that's a neat place. Was it Five Peaks Media?
Five Peaks Media. Yep. And
yes.
So Yeah, what are some of the things that you can touch on that we're going to talk about? Coming on Saturday.
Well, just kind of look back at, probably discuss how we all got involved in this great sport.
Right.
Kind of look back, what kind of led us to the racetracks at a young age. That's kind of a good starting point.
Yeah, my dad's truck.
And then some.
The passenger seat of my dad's truck. Racetrack. Yeah. So yeah, we'll post that up. But I know you have a couple things you want to talk about here, like the with the big rooster, or was that yours? Or no, that was Johnny's. He's got a. Johnny Cornell was on last night with us, and he's got a big fundraiser coming up. It's a golf tournament. That will be June 8th. There's a lot of sponsors the sponsorship packages. It's going to be at the Heron Glen Golf Course in Ringo's. He talked a lot about that last night. It's going to benefit the American Heart Association in remembrance of his father, who was also a great racer from the memories. And and you had something going on too, didn't you, Earl?
Yes. On Sunday afternoon, May the 4th, at Patterson Family Greenhouses. That's in Freehold, New Jersey, right on Adelphia Road. It's only a few miles from Route 9 in the Freehold area. They have their annual, they call it Family Fun Day. And Patterson Greenhouses, it's a long-established operation by the Patterson family, who they've been racing for many years. They raced at Wall Stadium, the local tracks, and every year they have what's called Family Fun Day. It's a huge car show, vintage cars, custom cars, muscle cars, race cars, and they have a huge amount of acreage there at their business, and it's literally filled with cars, one end to the other, beautifully restored cars, again, and they have a variety of other activities, hay rides, all sorts of activities for the families. They have a band, and it's free admission, and the object of the event each spring is they raise money for cancer research, the fight against cancer. And the organization that they work with the last few years, it's called Live Like a Unicorn, and Live is L-I-V, like a unicorn, and it's named for a young lady named Olivia from a local family of Freehold. She passed away at a very young age after a very gallant battle against cancer. She really fought it, but couldn't survive it. And her favorite animal as a young girl was a unicorn. So when she passed away, her family developed the foundation, Live Like a Unicorn. Again, Liv was her nickname. And every year at the Family Fun Day at the Patterson Greenhouses, they raise money. Again, it's free admission to go in, and they have all sorts of activities that you can just donate money to the cause. And that money goes to, again, that group, Live Like a Unicorn, and it goes to help families who have someone that is fighting cancer. Money is donated to various programs for cancer research. So it's a wonderful event. You can just go there the whole day and just see people, look at the great race cars, have a lot of activities to go to. And it starts at 10 o'clock in the morning and runs till about 3 in the afternoon. And like any car show, it's really cool because if you get there early in the morning, you can just watch the parade of these beautiful cars going in, and that's half the fun right there.
Yeah.
And looking ahead towards October, the same place, the Patterson Greenhouses, they have a Family Fun Day, this time to raise money for military veterans programs. The fight against military veterans who commit suicide, the suicide prevention programs, for example. They work with the local veterans organization. That's their October Family Fun Day. So great organization, and we highly recommend it. I plan on being there, so it's a nice way to spend the Sunday afternoon with the family for a great cause.
Oh yeah, keep me informed on that one because it's near and dear to me with the vets. So maybe I'll head on down to that one in October. So what else is going on, Earl? It seems like with the rain and all, it's actually got more quiet over the last few weeks than it did in the off season.
Well, one of the neat things, And there's a big feature story in Area Auto Racing News about this this week. We're just getting started with the racing season, but something to circle on the calendar for Saturday, October 11th at Bridgeport Speedway.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have the second annual 602 Sportsman Nationals.
Okay.
And it's being co-promoted along with, of course, regular track promoter Doug Rose, with Frank Cozy, who is, of course, a Hall of Fame modified driver. And the 602 Sportsman Nationals is going to pay $3,000 to win. That's big money for the sportsman division. But the very unique thing about this event is that the third place finisher is going to receive $10,000.
Okay.
How about that?
Yeah, I wonder how that works.
Frank Cozy came up with that idea.
See, that'll be the slowest last lap you've ever seen.
That's, I think, their idea.
Come on,
you
cynic,
what's going to happen, on the last lap where the first and second place driver is going to suddenly slow up to try to draft back to third, and the guy who's in third, what's he going to do, So,
You can see like 15 cars all go across at the same time.
Yeah, it could be very interesting.
Brake failure. Just
that will be
across the board.
interesting. That'll be interesting to see how that works out.
Yeah.
So
That's something to circle on the calendar. Doug Rose at Bridgeport, he loves to do creative things. And Frank Cozy on this. And, it should be quite interesting. So October 11th, that's a big race for the sportsman division there at Bridgeport.
Wait, I think they might be running a vintage down there that weekend too, so I might be down there as well.
Oh, very good.
Well, I don't think I'll be coming in third.
No, perfect storm.
I'll be going for that third place finish.
We're number 3.
So what's going on this weekend? You heading any of the? I know Bridgeport's going to be open. You heading down there or?
Yeah, this weekend I'll be just enjoying Easter activities with the
That's
family.
true.
We're doing the show on Saturday morning, which I'm looking forward to. Sunday after Easter morning activities, I'll be going down the Area Auto Racing News office. It's Easter Sunday, but I'll be going down for a while and working on a column.
Okay.
So very good weekend. Just looking forward to it. And pretty soon you'll really be ramping up with all the weekly racing. Looks like the weather's going to finally start cooperating.
Yeah.
So looking forward to that.
Yeah, it looks like Bridgeport broke even this week. They're going to have a nice weather.
I think it's going to be good for them, and I think everybody is really looking forward to getting out and getting some good racing in. Again, New Egypt had an outstanding opener, literally standing room only. With the way the weather changed, of course, but the racing was great, and it's a good way to start. And I think now everybody's kind of looking forward to let's get the regular racing season going. So let's hope for the best.
Yeah, New Egypt's got a test tonight. I think it is, and practice runs. Yeah, I'm not going down to that either. So I'm gonna practice out in my parking lot here for a little bit.
So May 10th will be your opening day for the vintage cars.
Yeah,
right?
May 10th is my debut, and the C141 will be out there. And we're gonna try to be respectable out there and to have some fun. That's the number one thing.
I heard you mention last night you were talking with Nick Marco on the show that he has a restored replica, I believe it is, of the Big Donkey 707.
Yep. Yeah, he said he's got it all back together now. Is Bruce Bowen's going to come out and letter it up just the way it was back in the day.
Oh, that's great.
And that's what I said. I'll be happy to have him pass me. So, but we'll ride side by side so we get some pictures, and Tommy Lane and Ace Jr. can be out there taking pictures of us, and then he can go on by. So yeah, we got quite a
inside of Fletcher's garage.
Yeah, yeah, we got quite a character cast of characters in the Vintage Club there. So it's going to be fun.
Having fun.
Yeah, we're going to be having some fun. So. All right, Earl, we're going to step aside here. I got a couple of sponsors that I got to go to.
Excellent. Yes.
And then, a couple, our recurring sponsors, including Fletcher's Garage. Yeah. But then I'm sure Nick will be calling in and checking in, and we'll see you on Saturday. I can't wait.
Look forward to it.
Thank you so much, Earl.
Some great stories on Saturday. So
oh, yeah.
See you then. Have a great show this morning.
All right. Thanks, Earl.
All right, gentlemen. Take care.
There you go.
Bye.
Yeah, nice.
All right, I want to touch on some of our sponsors with this before Nick gets on here.
Okay.
So we have everybody knows Fletcher's Garage, so I'm not going to talk too much about that. I don't want to waste time with that. Yes, it's me. Come see me. Come see my car. Then we got Sage Chiropractic. That is my chiropractor.
Yeah.
Dr. Mike Guanasso, Dr. Kerry Lewin. We have, they're in 123 North Sycamore Street in beautiful downtown Newtown. You can give them a call, 215-497-0700.
Carrie Looney, I think she's had a show here.
She did.
Many years ago.
She did.
Yeah.
Yep. And so they're up there. I go up there every other week, get adjusted, so I can get flexible and get in and out of my car. Now
Put your range in motion.
That's exactly what I need.
That's what the America's mechanic got to be nimble back there.
And a lot of times, chiropractors don't get considered doctors. No, these are doctors.
Yeah.
They do a whole lot. And so give them a call, 215-497-0700. Sage is the Rage in Chiropractic.
Sage is the Rage.
And
nice.
then we also have Bob Drayton, Mr. Bob's .com, Mr. Bob's Porta Potties. We always say he's been taking crap for 50 years. So, they're a lot of fun. We ran into him. Nick and I were hanging with
Number
him.
one in the number two business.
Yeah, that's Nick's line. Yeah, number one in the number two business.
There you go.
So we actually hung out with them and did some interviews with them after, because they also, Bob and his son both run four-cylinder cars.
Nice.
And Bob won. Bob Senior won. So we went out and interviewed with them, and they're just a wild, crazy, lot of fun people. Sherry and Bob Jr. And so that's Mr. Bob's. That's located at 151 Big Hill Road, Southampton Township, New Jersey, 08088. You can give them a call. It's 609-859-3629. Whether it's a porta potty or anything like that, one of those little office buildings, porta potty, they're great. Mm-hmm. So give them a call. They actually donated to us at the Relay for Life years ago, and I don't think they remember, but they did. We called, they answered. So thank you for Mr. Bob's Porta Potties.
All righty then. There you go. Little music underneath there.
There you go. That's cool.
Get you got to get the flow going a little bit.
Flow going.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, as Mr. Bob would get the flow going, wouldn't he? He'd be going there. That's great. That's great.
Yeah, we're having some fun with all this
you
stuff.
Are.
We did a video with Mark Yapel last week. Me, Nick, and Mark, and I didn't know it, but Mark and I have ran parallel universes my whole life. He's helped. He's helped my dad. He's helped, some of my dad's drivers, some of our friends, all these, and my family, the Wagners, John Wagner. So we had a lot of fun talking the history with that back then, and we're really going to have some fun this Saturday.
He's on the road again, but he's going to make a stop right here at WBCB. Nick, how are you?
I'm good, Mr. Foxwell. How are you?
I got your theme song, On the Road Again. I'm gonna keep...
I know. Everybody's telling me I got a theme song with WBCB. Thanks to Mr. Foxwell, as always. Right now, I am waiting to get loaded, so I am stopped at the moment. But, always a pleasure to call the show and talk to you guys. Of course, I was with Fred last night. Fred, we owe Paulie Hartwig an interview to himself, because every time he calls, something happens with the phone line, or he gets cut off, or I feel bad for the kid. He's one of the up-and-coming stars, and
I love talking to him. Yeah, I love talking to him. When we talked to him in motorsports, he was great. So, we definitely we ran out of time yesterday, but we had some great guests, including Paulie. I definitely want to give him his own time. So if he wants to call in next week, he's on it.
Paulie won't see him no more. Yeah.
I told him to call first, Fred, after Earl, and then we'll give him his group because we owe him. And then, of course, we had Danny Buck on. We had Scotty Too Hottie on, of course. Mm-hmm. And, it was a good show. I mean,
Nick Marco called.
Nick Marco, of course. We're doing what we need to be doing. We just got to pull some sponsors in so we can keep on doing it throughout the summer.
Yep. So, that's the plan. So we'll keep pushing away.
We got a nice foundation though going, so you got a little track record working. So that could spur a little more action going on.
That's where we're really pushing it now.
Yeah.
'Cause, not to cry, but I've been carrying a lot of it. And,
I mean, it's not supposed to be that way. We're supposed to get some people to jump on board, and Fred shouldn't have to carry all the weight on his shoulders.
I believe in his show. That's why I've been going and going and going, but I don't want it to become a problem down the road. We should have some sponsors. We give a lot of people some credit out there, so I think they owe us.
Yeah.
They should step up to the plate, and I just think that, if you're out there and you're listening and you were on the fence about sponsoring Wide Open Wednesday, you got to get off the fence now, guys, because time is limited. And if you're interested in sponsoring the show, give Fred a call. Go to Fletcher's Garage. Do you know how to get a hold of me? Get a hold of me. It ain't expensive.
No, it's not
Every
expensive.
little bit helps. So, and we can keep this thing going through the summer. I mean, we're going to keep doing it.
Yep.
It just may not be on this outlet. It may be on a different way that we do things. But we want to stay WBCB.
Oh, yeah.
This is where it started. This is where we want to do it. So if you can help us out, we'd appreciate it.
Yeah, I don't want to say that they owe us. I'm going to say that we want to take you with us, because we are a growing, and we get more and more followers. All my customers are listening now. Before I maybe had a few customers. I've almost every day I got a customer saying, "I heard you on WBCB. I love that racing show you got."
Seems like only yesterday we were just talking about fixing cars. Yeah. It's a lot more than that now.
Yeah.
So we have a big following. I mean, there's a lot of people that listen, and there's probably somebody sitting there going, "Hey, I'd like to get into that." Well, you can, and it's not real expensive. You'd be really surprised what Fred can get you into and get you involved in the show. So
we have different levels.
To that.
Yeah, we have a lot of different levels of advertising that we tie in with the Facebook, the YouTube channels. If you want to go that way, strictly just radio. We put them on our all of our print stuff. It's there's a lot of different avenues we can do it. You just got to let us know what you want. And
it's a market that I had no idea was out there. But you tapped into it.
And we've actually heard people like Earl and a few other people say, this format of the show is very, very unique now. Bill Singer used to have a show like this, and Skip had the show like this.
Skip, yeah.
Not too many people do shows like what Nick and I do on Wednesdays, and what I'm doing right now. So.
And I know there's a lot of people that enjoy it, and a lot of people listen to it. Well, we appreciate you listening and being involved. But if there's somebody out there that can be more involved, we'd appreciate you to help us out, and we'll help you out. It's a two-way street.
Oh, yeah.
It's not a one-way street. We're going to help you out as much as you help us. So
it is
you're on the fence, go off the fence.
It is a return on investment. It's not an expense.
Absolutely.
That's right.
Yeah.
Fred made the investment, and he's got a return on it. He'd be able to tell you exactly how it works. He's got a few customers out of the deal, and I'm sure we can make it work for you too.
Oh, absolutely. So we got our plans for Saturday. So we're going to meet with Mark and Earl and Earl's Time Capsule and over at Craig's studio. So it'll be the four of us there, and we're just going to let Mark and Earl go back and forth, and we'll just sit there and all on either end of the table there. And and Craig told me in the future there, Nick, we're going to break out the Pentagon table. He found a way to get it out there so we can have a real true round table down the road after this one. So we can bring in some more guests. If Earl's got anybody out there, or we can come up with people that want to join us. It's funny because I no matter where I go talking about racing, no matter where I'm at, and I say, "Oh yeah, I've Earl Krause." They're like, "Oh, Earl, we love Earl. Yeah. We know Earl." So it's like, it's an honor to have Earl and Mark in our corners, and there's
so many other things, that we could do. I just got done talking to my sister-in-law. She said my brother's going to have an operation. And it's supposed to make him feel 100% better, hopefully, and we'll be able to get him in studio with Mark. That would be.
Oh, that would be great.
That would be my lifetime interview there with him and Mark.
The famous Johnny Leach.
Yep, that would be cool. So we'll see what happens. But as for right now, I got to go back on the road and deal with the crazy people. And so do you, Fred. So we'll do what we need to do. Mr. Foxwell, as always, it's not personal. It's always business.
That's right. Your business will have to suffer.
I'll talk to you in a little bit,
all right,
Nick.
Guys.
All right.
All right, Fred. Thanks.
All right.
See ya. I got to get to that theme song in there for. He's always on the road. Yeah.
He's in
You know,
getting a load now.
Yeah, if he had a little more enthusiasm, he'd be good. You know, it's amazing. But he's passionate about, and it's
Well, he spent his whole life in racing. I mean, I've been
Yeah.
around it.
Yeah.
I was out of it for a lot of years. But Nick has been constant through all the years with his brother running. His brother actually won the championship in 1985 in Windsor.
yeah. There's more than you know, Fred. Right? It's just a lot under. You tapped into something. I think there's more coming, and I think now that the word is out and. You're out there and you got the shows and you're in your business, everything else. You're involved with a lot of charities and things like that. So
And what I want to do.
you're bound to get lucky.
Yeah. What I want to do is bring positivity back into this. I see a lot of Facebook, and it's true social media.
Yeah.
People are negative on social media.
Sure, cynical.
I see them if it rains on a Wednesday or Thursday and the track isn't ready. The way that some people feel it should be, they're bashing them. They're bashing New Egypt. They're bashing Bridgeport. If they don't like what they see at Wall Stadium, they're bashing the Wall. It's like, it's racing.
Yeah.
And then you got the drama behind the scenes with all that. With what they start. And I'm like, no, I want to be a happy person.
Happy camper.
I want
That's
to run
right.
happy. I want to race happy.
Yeah, you're positive. Yeah, you're right about that.
It's fun.
You
It's
take a look at. I'm not looking at it anymore.
Yeah, there's not a lot of sports. You go down there. It's not expensive. Maybe $25, $30, depending on the per.
Yeah.
Depending on the show that's going on. Sometimes you get an international or a national show like New Egypt had, and it might be $30 or $35. But still, all things considered, you're spending more than that at a baseball game. And I'm not going to knock baseball because I'm going to. My daughter's actually on her way down to the Phillies game now.
That's the Giants. We got it here.
But
BCB.
as far as you want to spend a Saturday, or Sunday, $25, $30. You run down there. You can spend 4 or 5 hours and watch them running and meet some people and it's just a great experience all the way around. And that's why I'm glad to be back involved with racing.
I get on Facebook and I see some of these things like the nostalgia era. It could be anything from the Circle Diner in Flemington to the old Latin Casino we that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I can go to the Latin Casino. I don't know about my dad.
Yeah,
but I remember. There's some stories we'll talk about on Saturday, but we used to go to Circle Diner. My dad's favorite spot was
they love those pictures.
The Texas Wiener, or the Wiener King. We used to get the Texas Wieners on
Hot Dog Johnny's.
Well, that's going the other way.
But still, right?
I do love the Hot Dog Johnny's. I go up there just for the hot dogs and remembering when I was a kid.
Yeah, I find stuff that just comes across and I share it and everything because it's I like the nostalgia part of it. And a lot of people, when they comment, all of a sudden there's a lot of that stuff. They remember what it was like.
That's why I got a vintage car, because I like the nostalgia. I remember when I was a kid running around the pits and after the race, and then hanging in the infield when you could park in the infield down at Flemington.
You'd do anything.
I have faint memories of Windsor. I know I was there a bunch, but I don't have the memories like I do at Flemington.
You're down at Atco for that
that
down?
was drag racing.
Drag racing?
Yeah, I've gone down to. I'm not a big drag racer, but I do like Maple Grove. And now that I've been involved with Maple Grove and the Koreskis and Billy Kleinspan and Nick and all them, they've got me up in there, and me and Craig have been hooked.
Yeah, I would know a town by where they had racing, like Englishtown.
Yeah,
would be
Englishtown was a good one.
Big Daddy Don Garlitz.
Yeah, well, then you see them guys up at Maple Grove now. I mean, I'm hooked. I ran into one of my childhood idols and crushes, Shirley Muldowney.
Cha-cha.
So I got to meet her, and we talked to her for a little bit, and fell in
she
love
was a
with
good
her
interview,
again.
too, right?
She was great. Mm-hmm.
So a little salty, a little spicy there, but
she's very, very good. I seen her on the round table with Tony Stewart and Danny Sullivan there, and
Danny Sullivan. There's one for you.
Don Garlitz. They were talking back and forth, and her and Don were going sparring back and forth. In fun.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, you know what? A trailblazer like that probably took a lot of lumps, but she persevered. No question about that.
She's a tough lady, and she's a sweet lady.
Yeah.
Just in the conversation I had with her up in Maple Grove, I was like, oh,
that's great. That is great. That really is. Yeah.
So, but it's like that all the way around. So that's why I want to look for the positivity in all these racetracks.
You bet.
No negatives.
No negatives.
Debbie Downers in the race.
That's right. Then we don't do it that way.
Everybody's a winner.
Everybody.
Except for the guy that comes in third. Who's a big winner.
All number 2. All right. We'll wrap things up here. Remember, the Hour of Power, Sunshine Music Memories is coming up. The Need for Speed is at 9:30. Fletcher's Garage, Under the Hood with
I'm there all the time.
Mechanic.
Yep.
here on WBCB. Coming up, it'll be 10 o'clock, the news, and then album size with Chris Irmer today, coming up at 11 o'clock.
AP News, I'm Marcela Sanchez. President Trump said on social media Thursday that Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell's termination cannot come fast enough. He expressed frustration that the central bank hadn't aggressively cut interest rates. The post comes a day after Powell said the Fed would hold off on policy changes until seeing the impacts of the president's tariffs and will not bow to political pressure. Italy's